Hey y'all, welcome back to the belikedee channel. It's your girl D coming back with another review of Queens, the ABC show, season 1, episode 2. Okay, so the episode opens up where we left off last week. They all standing outside in front of their billboard, and then they show somebody watching them from a different angle, and then you hear breathing, and it had me for a second. I was like, hold on, did I hear breathing? Because sometimes they be showing them weird angles on shows. It look like somebody looking, but it's not. But this time they was looking. And they all like breathing hard. Then they go back to showing them talking again. Then Brianna saying she don't never want to go back to San Diego again. That's where their last show was. And they that's where their group broke up at. Then they go back to the person over there, hiding behind some bushes, breathing real hard. Eric comes, and then he all beat up, and they like, what's going on with you? And he's like, nothing. It's about, you guys and y'all future or whatever. And then here come the person come running out with a gun, coming up at them, and they all like, ah. Then they go to black. But all you hear is like scuffling, and you hear Jill screaming, we need help, and stuff like that. So now we all are back in 2001, and they are performing on stage. And I swear the jams be on here. I be like, okay, I'm with them. Hey, then you come out rapping, and I'm like, hey. And then the Tory come out rapping. I'm like, hey. And then Brandy come out rapping. I'm like, okay. Then she's singing. I'm like, hey, okay. But then little butter pecan. I can't. She is horrible. She just there to try to look cute. That's all that was. Everybody else killing it, right? When we get to her part, it's a hard pass, okay? But anyway, so then when she gets to her part on stage too, Brandy, aka Explicit Lyrics, she all off to the side. You could tell her whole mood, her whole face change, and then everybody else like trying to nudge her, like, come on, girl, come on, we gotta be a part of this, we gotta do it. So then they all get back in one position on the stage to perform, and then Explicit Lyrics is like, I can't believe we throwing this all away for whatever. We supposed to be nasty bitches for life. But then she got mad, was like, no, I'm done. Nasty bitches is dead. And she dropped the mic and leave. I'm like, damn, girl, on stage in front of everybody. Gotta do what you gotta do. But also, is it me, or did I sort of expect Brandy to be the person that had the dramatics in the group? So now we're back in 2021, and we at Brianna's house, and Brianna is watching the news and seeing that everybody loving they comeback of the nasty bitches. And then her husband come in, and he ready to go down to get his surgery for his brain tumor and his cancer, So then he all like, he gonna give her a letter or something in case he don't live. And then he's like, shouldn't we talk? Don't you know I'm sorry? And then she's like, I don't know anything. And I'm like, exactly, you don't know anything. So are we gonna keep glazing over this? But I guess she's trying to figure herself out. So then they couldn't find a sitter, so they got Valeria ass watching the kids. I'm like, don't have this evil bitch watching y'all kids. She don't teach them how to be conniving, okay? But anyway, she got their ass down there doing yoga. And I'm like, I'm surprised they doing it. But it was kind of cute. It kind of made me like her a little bit in this situation because she was on the husband's ass. So when they was leaving, she was like, don't screw a nurse. I'm like, good, tell his ass, okay? And then she was all telling Brianna, don't you think the timing of this tumor is suspicious? You catch his ass cheating and all of a sudden he got a tumor. And then she like, come on, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm really surprised of you, Brianna, okay? You kind of chill. Like, she ain't giving us enough of the emotions that she feeling, But I feel like it's coming. It's coming. But, she keeps saying it's hard to leave your husband when you work so damn hard to build all this life together. I'm like, in theory, yeah. But actually, no, girl. Just leave his ass and you'll figure out the rest later. That's how a lot of shit be working anyway, okay? So now we're over to Jill and her boo thing in the bed together. They all like, oh, I'm happy to wake up to you. Yes, I'm happy to finally wake up to you. And then they hear some shit going on in the kitchen, and then Jill hop up and grab the shotgun. I said, oh shit, okay, Jill, you is in Montana though, so okay. And then they go in the kitchen, it's the damn husband, and I'm like, oh shit, we didn't get to see the interaction of what happened between them. But guess what, we still ain't fully get it, because all he said was, you really hurt me, Jill, you really did, but I just can't believe that you don't love me. And I'm like, oh man, goddamn. But guess what? He ended up making eggs. He asking Jill's girlfriend how she like her eggs. So I was like, oh shit. He gonna try to make this a throuple. And here he go. I mean, I was looking in the Bible, but the Bible is against polyamory. But if I love you, and you love me, and you love her, we can all be together. And then Jill like, oh, I'm sorry, but no, I love someone else. I care for you, but I love somebody else. And then I thought he was about to snap. I really did. I was like, is he the one that shot them? What the fuck? But he held it together. And he was just like, well, I'm sorry too. And he's like, but I'll always love you. I said, oh, poor man. They really could have made it more sadder, because I know in real life some shit like that happened that is so hurtful. You come out on national TV when you have a whole ass husband. Come on now. Okay, so now we over to Little Muffin Rain, and then she doing her makeup. She got her shades on. She got music blasting. They widen the screen. She in a rehab. She in rehab, got her music blasted in a session full of other people. The guy had to come snatch the damn mirror out of her hand. And she like, blah, 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 gave me that in Japan. And he like, I don't care. Or what you gonna do about this program, okay? And then the other girl to the side was like, and the music is rude too. The bitch blasting music like she in the room by herself. Now we're over to Naomi, and she's having lunch with her daughter, JoJo. And her daughter actually seemed happy to see her this time. She was like, oh, I'm trying to get better. She was like, I see, that's why I'm here. I was like, okay, that was cute. But in the back of my mind, I was like, is it because she was all proud of her mama from being on the BET Awards? Or is she just happy to see her mama? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, Cameron walk up. And they like, oh, I ain't seen you in 20 years since San Diego. And then she invite her to sit down. And I'm like, invite him to sit down. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. If you're going to have a one-on-one lunch day with your daughter, you're going to invite him. And then the first thing I thought, is this the baby daddy? Must be, okay? So then the daughter even catches that. She looking like, you inviting this nigga to sit down? But okay. So then the daughter, they order food. Apparently they got the same taste. Okay. So she said she want all this and this not on her sandwich, and then they both said extra pickles at the same time. Then they looked at each other like, what? So I'm like, okay, boom, that's your daddy. You finna find out that's your daddy. I thought she was really sitting him down so they can talk about it for a second. I don't know why I thought that, but they didn't. But then Cameron said that he wanted to sign her. And then she was like, oh, me and the girls just did that one event. We ain't getting back together. And then he was like, no, not you and the girls. I want you. Your demo fell in my lap in Nashville. And it was crazy. And then she's all like, what? That's surprising. And then he was like, what? Like, you don't know? And then the daughter was like, yeah, it's something she's been waiting to hear for 20 years. And I'm like, oh, look at her being happy about her mama. And you ain't getting that news in front of her daughter. You know, that's kind of crazy. It's the moment she's been waiting for, right? So then she like, for real? For real? So that's about to happen for her. I'm like, okay, go ahead, Naomi. You about to be on it, bitch. So then we over to Jill. And then Jill is at church. She all happy, you know. Then they get up and, I don't know, say something to each other. So the man, you know, did his little, nice, yeah, you know, bless you. But then she tried to turn to some lady. And then the lady started looking at her all crazy. And then she like, Okay. Then she walk up to get her communion, and then the priest shade her and shame her, talking about only the blood, only people that's free of sin can drink the blood, all that stuff. I'm just like, ain't that, we all sinners? Ain't that the whole point? But okay, but you know how they gotta do. So I'm like, okay, yeah, they shame her in the church. Then she leave out the church. She thinks she upset. She leave. The damn news reporters right there outside waiting for her ass. Jill, how was it when you came out? How did your husband react? Blah, 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 blah. And she all like, oh. But at the same time, I feel bad for you for being shamed. But as I said, that was some fucked up shit to come out on TV when you have a husband. That part was fucked up. So, this is what you get. Like, the shaming part you don't get, but all that media shit, you deserve it. Because you came out on national TV. The fuck you thought was going to happen? There. So now we're flashing back to 1997, and it has them on the stage rapping, but it's just Naomi, Brianna, and Jill on the stage. And I'm like, where Butter Pecan? So apparently they was the core group first. So I'm like, makes sense, because old girl don't look like she fit, okay? The bitch don't fit, her raps didn't fit. So it made sense. So I'm like, okay. So they got Eric watching the performance, he up top, being the manager or whatever. Then some white man come in, and he's trying to say, oh yeah, that Professor Sex, oh yeah, she's great, she's fly. So like, I love to meet with her and talk about a deal. I got a pad nearby. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. And then Eric looking like, oh yeah, is that right? And he's like, oh, and then the man like, come on, you know how this business work. You done been, through this before. And then he like, yeah, I have. And then he do some little signal, and the security comes snatching his ass up out of there. I'm like, okay, get his ass up out of here. The fuck? Ugh, gross. Anyway, so then after he leaves, then we got Valeria ass coming up talking to Eric, her Buddy Pecan. And I'm like, this her third show or whatever. She like to see the girls, and then she gonna point at explicit lyrics and like, oh, is that your girl? And then he said no, after she just kind of like blew him a kiss or something in between her rapping or whatever. And then she was like, well, is she good? And then he was like, yeah, she great, whatever. She was like, but is she a star? I'm like, bitch, who are you? Okay. I knew this bitch was the villain, okay? So she come in, she all up on him, telling them that the group need her. That's who she need. And so then, boom, they in the studio, they listening to her little demo. And Eve, aka Brianna, was like, no, Jill was trying to be nice. She was like, well, it's not bad. I wouldn't say bars. And then Brianna like, why you being nice to her? Trash. I'm like, yes, thank you. Okay, somebody had to say it. But explicit lyrics had sitting up there and not saying nothing. She just kind of looking at her sideways. So then she's saying, and then Valeria hop up and she trying to make her sell. She's like, I'm not a rapper. I'm what she said? I'm not trying to be a rapper, but it's about advertising or some shit like that. Basically, she said it was basically something about advertising, and she know what she can bring to the table, and da 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 da. And she, the girls are good talent, but they gotta bring it to the next level. If they want to be stars, they gotta bring it to the next level. And then explicit lyrics like, so are you gonna get us to the next level? And she was like, yes, because I know what I bring, I know what I can do, and I know what we can do. I was like, was this the speech that sold y'all? Really? This was like completely like, what? And they all was like, well, fine, we can do this. We're gonna be the best, right? After she had her explicit lyrics, had her read one of the raps, basically was the hook to Nasty Girl, and she was like, this gonna be the top song of the world, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I guess they was convinced that once she read that rap, they was like, okay, we write your raps, you sound better. But no, she still don't. She still don't, okay? But I knew something was off about that bitch. We're back to 2021, and Eric is in the office trying to make a sale to some kind of club owner or something like that. He trying to get them to that San Diego show because that's the only thing they can find right now so far to get their career back on track, because they trying to make the comeback of the nasty bitches. Well, really, Valeria and him are trying to make the comeback of the nasty bitches. Everybody else kind of like, yeah, I'm living my life. But because they say they owe it to them, and they damn sure do. Okay, they damn sure do. But anyway, so so he's saying if they don't sell out or whatever, he gonna owe that man $50,000. I'm like, ooh, I hope they do good, cause you ain't got that money like that. Apparently, that's what the guy told him. I know you renting that home down, that mansion down in LA or whatever. I said, ooh, that's what he get. Anyway, so then we go over to Jill, and she all like frantic in her house, closing windows and stuff because reporters all outside. And then her girlfriend was like, well, what did you expect when you came out on national TV? I said, exactly, thank you. Somebody there to tell a dumbass girl, okay? But then she's like, but my church and everything, I'm not getting accepted. And Tina like, well, if you don't need to be at that church, then I'm like, thank you, okay? You right there to talk her dumbass down, but she all like, oh. And then next you know, she think one of them came in, and actually it's Lil Muffin that got in her house. How'd she get in her house? But anyway, Lil Muffin got in there, and then she's saying she left rehab. Well, she like, you the only person I know in Montana. And then she was like, I left rehab because it was funny. She said it's a Karen named Skylar. I don't know, that tickled me. It's a Karen named Skylar. They think luxury, Louis Vuitton bag is the pinnacle of luxury. And then she's like, you need to go back to rehab. And she was like, Skylar. Like, that's the whole, look, Skylar is the reason I can't go back to rehab. She a little funny. But anyway, so then Jill's still freaking out, saying she needs to get away. She's gonna go to LA. And then the girlfriend like, no, you gonna leave me? And then she's like, no, I just need my space. I just need to clear my head. And then the girlfriend like, okay. I was like, you was a little quick to understand, but okay. But anyway, so then after Lil Muffin here, she want to go to LA. She's like, oh, I'm coming with you. And then she's like, no, you going back to rehab. And then she's like, well, if you go, I'm just gonna figure out, what the nightlife here is like. And then it was like, go ahead and take her. Go ahead. So they going to LA. Then we go back to Naomi, and Naomi is in her I want to say interview, but her meeting with the record execs with Cameron, listening to her music. They all like, we loving it. But then the dude tell her she would be good for writing. They don't want no 40-year-old woman singing folk songs. I said, ooh, ouch. Ouch, girl. But that's so crazy though, because I feel like if the music is good, ain't we gonna listen? But it's all about advertising and marketing, whatever. But still, so that was messed up. And she was mad, and she basically wanted to be done with music after that because she done worked so hard. And then to hear that she a 40-year-old washed up old musician that don't nobody want to hear her music. Now we're over to Brianna, and her husband just got out of surgery. They saying everything went well. And this nigga trying to pretend like he don't remember cheating. I know you lying. And then she like, are you serious? And this is how I know he was full of shit, because he like trying to joke with her. I know I look handsome, right? And then she was like, I don't think I can get over you cheating. And then he started laughing. You funny. And then she like, what's funny? You trying to convince me that I cheated on you after surgery? You was thinking of that before surgery. Just how that went, you was thinking of that shit before surgery. Okay, she gonna probably gonna throw the cheating at me. So then I gotta be like, I don't remember that. She probably got it from Grey's Anatomy. And then she's like, are you serious right now? And then he like, are you serious? And then he was like, I could never even imagine cheating on you. I love you so much. And then I like how Brianna was like, I hate you so much. hate you so much. And I'm like, exactly. Good girl. He got you on the damn roller coaster. You find out he cheating. And then he really don't show that he care as much because, or we didn't get to see it, you know? Because he ain't really acting like a husband that done cheated and needs to be forgiven. And then, boom, he got brain cancer. He got a tumor. So she can't really still be that mad. Then he go through surgery. And then all of a sudden, he forgot he cheated. Boy, bye. He was already trying to use it as a reason why he was cheating. Now you gonna say you don't remember the cheating because you had surgery, boy. So then they show Brianna back at the house with Valeria evil ass. And she was on her. She was like, girl, you really think that? No, that sounds like something I heard off of General Hospital. Okay. I'm like, good. But then Brianna was like, well, the doctor did say short-term memory loss. I said, okay, short-term. But he gonna remember that shit because he was doing it long-term. Okay, I'm sure he was cheating on you way before that. Okay. How he had time? He was having migraines and shit, wasn't he? Bye. But anyways, so then they hear the ring at the doorbell, and it's damn Little Muffin and Jill, and they all dressed up looking a hot mess like they trying to hide. So then after they come in, boom, here go explicit lyrics, aka Naomi at the door. And then she like, oh hey y'all. Then here come Eric's ass, and they like, oh shit, everybody here? I'm like, how the all y'all didn't see each other pulling up? That was my own issue with this whole scene. Y'all didn't see each other pulling up because it was like back to back. You had to see somebody walking up to the door when you was walking up. But okay, they gonna act like they ain't know each other was there. So then he tell him about the event, how it's gonna be in San Diego. And Brianna was like, no, I can't do that. Then Valeria was like, she said she threw some kind of shade, like why she, sticking by this man. She was like, you really gonna stick by this man that was calling a white girl a queen in your bed? I was like, look, she ain't lying, okay? She ain't lying. Because that would have threw me too. Bitch, you calling this bitch a queen? After you called me your queen? Oh, hell no. Brianna got mad. And then she was like, well, it's my family, blah, blah, blah. You don't know how to keep your mouth closed. If you had a family, you would know. And then, well, before that, Valeria was like, oh, because you used to be a bad bitch. This is just sad now. I'm like, it is. Especially if you see somebody go from being strong to being weak. It's really a tragedy. But anyway, so then, explicit / Naomi, I keep saying explicit, but Naomi was like, I think I'm done with this business. And then Jill, how about I'm in? And then Little Muffin was like, plot twist. Her commentary on this scene was so funny. Plot twist. And then she was catching the shot. Ooh. But then they convinced Naomi she's gonna be a part of the tour, whatever, not tour, but the show. But they like, it's gonna be back in San Diego, and they're like, oh Lord, not back in San Diego. But then they get all happy, like, when do we ever get to rewrite history? Blah 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 blah. Okay, so now we have Naomi and Chris trying to get back with that old thing, right? And then Naomi finally got herself together. She like, no, I told you it was gonna be the last time, and that's it. I'm serious. And then he's still trying to be all up on her. And then she was like, no, because what do you want? What's your angle? What you got going on here? I said, okay, bitch, get on his ass, okay? And then he was like, he trying to make up for things or whatever. And then he's trying to convince her that he still, got feelings for her or whatever, right? But then Valeria come in. Oh, what y'all doing? Right in the midst of him about to touch her. As soon as she opened that door, I said, oh, I thought you wanted her. They got that bullshit. And then there they go back into the same old patterns, side-eyeing each other. Obviously something just happened, but Valeria acting like she didn't know shit or peeping anything. So she just go into talking about what she want to talk about with him, and then Naomi leave. So then he tell Naomi, well, she like, oh, I'm so proud you got the event, blah, blah, blah. And then Eric says to how he gonna be in for 50,000 or whatever if they don't do it. But she was like, I got it. I can scrape it up if we need to because we owe them. Oh yeah, and that's what I was gonna say too. And Naomi said that she can't feel like she can't be dealing with him like that too much because it make it seem like she cool with what they did, what he did to her, or whatever. And I'm like, what y'all did to them, okay? But boom, here we go, rewind all the way to 1998. They all got their record deal. They at the table at dinner or whatever. And he handed them all bags. And then Louis Vuitton bags, and then explicit lyrics for saying she didn't want the bag. You think I care about a bag or whatever? Then they open up the bag. They all got 20 racks in there, and I'm like, okay, that was cool if they all got 20 racks. He just said 20 racks though, but it was they signing bonus. They was happy. Explicit lyrics snatched their bag back, okay. And then they was all happy about their contracts. They signed it, and then she what's her name? Butter Pecan, whatever the fuck her name is. She's like, thanks, boo. And then he go, explicit lyrics looking up at Eric. They both had a look at each other moment like, I'm like, oh God, I can't stand it. But then, they all happy. Woo, nasty bitches forever. Then they show them doing some damn like MTV Cribs moment where they like, we're the nasty bitches and welcome to our crib. But then they really wasn't feeling each other no more at that time. And they redo the scene and they finally get it right. The people like, cut, all right, we done, we good. And explicit lyrics and Jill the Thrill noticed that Butter Pecan was getting in a nice ass car, and they was like, how's she getting in a nice ass car and I'm getting into a damn Corolla or something like that? So then they peeping game out, oh bitch, okay. And one of the people that was helping was like, well, how long y'all gonna be in town? Talking to Jill. And then she was like, oh, one more night. She was like, well, I can show you around town or whatever. So the girl was trying to hit on her. And then when she finally realized it, she was just like, what you doing? What you think? I can get any man I want, blah, 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 blah. Being all extra macho. She's been all extra macho and trying to fight the girl and pushing her and stuff. But then the explicit lyrics trying to hold her back like, girl, you need to chill. And she get mad, she walk off. Now we're over to Jill, and Jill trying to finally answer her girlfriend's phone calls. And then she hears something fall out the window. And guess what? It's Lil Muffin. She trying to sneak out the house so she can go to the club. And then she call all the girls. They tell her she wrong for this. She needs to be back in rehab, blah, blah, blah. Then Jill and her have a one-on-one. And of course she young, she don't want to hear nothing Jill gotta say. So then she basically reads Jill down by telling her like, how I'm gonna listen to you or somebody that's scared of their own shadow. She said somebody that's scared of their own shadow and scared and was scared to come out. She was like, it's 2021, what you scared to come out for? Everybody a little gay. I'm like, well damn, throw it in her face like that. But then Jill, of course, she get mad and she like get all defensive and she like, well then you could just go because there's nothing we can do for you then. So then she like, fine then. They get up, they act like they about to leave. Then they stop, turn back to each other. It was like, well, I'm really the one that's scared. Da 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 da. Lil Muffin saying that they want her to say who she really is, not be Lil Muffin, be Lauren. And she's like, I don't even know who that is. I ain't known that person since I was 15. And then Jill says she's scared because she thinks she's gonna be one of the people that's never comfortable with what they have or who they are. And then, but they gotta stop running. So then, basically she convinced her to go back to rehab and work on herself. And then Jill gonna work on herself to try to be more, confident or whatever she got going on. But if they keep running from what they, scared of, they ain't gonna never get no better. So boom, then we got Brianna, Valeria, Evil Ass, and Naomi sitting at the table, and Eric come in and let them know that they got to talk about the San Diego event. And then they was like, oh, the tickets ain't sell. And then he was like, no, they sold out in 12 minutes. So then they all like, we back. Then Lil Muffin come in and say she going back to rehab. They all proud of her. So now we're over to Brianna, and I didn't really get this scene that much. But then I like how the dude was like, "What?" too. Eric was like, "What?" when she was talking, and then she was like, "The marriage I'm in have been in for 16 years. It's not the same marriage." And I'm like, okay, but because that whole little thing she was saying, that little dialogue, they could have did a little better because I was not following. But anyway, so she's still trying to decide if she happy to be, she want to be with her husband or not. Girl, not okay. But anyway, so then we go on to I don't even know what year it was. They keep going back to all these different years. I'm gonna just say 2001, okay. And Naomi is in some kind of penthouse or something, and she watching a commercial of Butter Pecan and her perfume. And then Eric walked in the room. She was like, "Are you still messing with her?" And then he was like, "I thought we dated this." She was like, "How she hustling perfume and shit?" And he like, "Are you jealous?" And then she asked him, "Are you messing with her again?" And then that's when he gonna say, "Since the first time I heard you rhyme, I fell in love with you, and I want you, but you the one that chose to keep us a secret." I'm like, oh, okay, that's what this is. They supposed to be on the low, okay? They're supposed to be on the low. That's why they keep having these exchanges. But her whole reason was she didn't want to be signed to him and messing with him, and then everybody gonna think she only got into the business because they sleeping together. But then he like, "Well, fine, that's fine then, but here we are here now, so what you want to do?" I was like, "Girl, you should have caught his bluff." But she looking at him like she's still unsure, like, "I don't trust you, nigga." And then she don't even answer that question, and she asks her question again, "Are you still messing with her?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "So all of that going around talking about how you want to be with her, but you messing with Butter Pecan. Okay, boy, shut up." And then you wait all that long to answer the damn question when you could have just answered it from the start. But I don't think she really wanted to be with him that much either. I don't think she knew what she wanted. That's what she was giving off too. But he tried to play that up, but she was just like, bye. So then she left and she go to damn Cameron's room. I'm like, yeah, that's your baby daddy. That's your baby daddy. Now we're over to Naomi, and she's calling her daughter. And her daughter's like, "Oh, so what happened with your meeting or whatever?" And then she's like, "Baby, they don't get me, so it's done. I'm over it." But then me and the girls got another show. And then she was like, "So you gonna give up on being a solo artist?" And she was like, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna convince these people that a 40-year-old black woman singing folk songs is, gonna make it happen." And then she was like, "Because you have to, because it was all for nothing." And then she was like, "What was all for nothing?" She was like, "Missing basically all my life, all my recitals, all my stuff, and not being with me is all for nothing." And then basically she gave her mama some get up and go. And then the girl was like, "All right, bye," because I gotta believe. I like her, it was hard, but it was also like, that's what she needed to hear. She's like, "I gotta believe that this was all for something. Like, you're not gonna just tell me you giving up after all these years that you could have been with me." So, and I'm like, "Oh, girl, that was facts, okay?" So then, I keep want to call her Brandy. So then Naomi, she get up, she thinking like, what I'm finna do. I'm like, "What the hell you gonna do to convince people that you're a star?" So apparently she got the man address from the meeting that told her she could be a writer, but she couldn't do the music part. So she bamming on the doorbell or whatever to the gate, and then he surprisingly he let her in. But she's singing to him. She starts singing "Wrecking Ball" by Miley Cyrus. But she spent her own little spin on it or whatever. And at the same time, her daughter practicing on the piano, doing the same song, showing that she talented too. I'm like, okay, running the family, that's cute. But what I noticed though is that Naomi did not go all the way in his face. She stayed a good distance in case they tried to say anything was going down. I was like, "Oh, girl, you going on people's property?" And she sang her little song or whatever. And then she walk away. Boom. Then you show them in a meeting. He like, "Oh, I can't wait to see what you and Cameron come up with." So she finna get her little solo record deal that she been waiting on forever. But now she reading them contracts. So she read the contract, and it said that she couldn't perform with the nasty bitches. And then she like, what? I gotta leave my girls to the side. They're like, yeah, you gotta get away from the explicit lyric persona and become Naomi. So then now she like, oh shit. I'm like, damn, that is kind of messed up. You finally get the career that you're looking for, but you and your girl group kind of talking, getting back together or something. But you gotta basically disown them just so you can have your own career. And then I'm like, ooh, what's she gonna pick? That's gonna be hard. Now we at rehearsal and Naomi is off, of course. And they don't know why. They asking her what's her problem. She's saying she fine. But then she looking around, looking at the stage they were on 20 years ago, and she, breathing, thinking, trying to see what decision she gonna make. And then boom, they would wind us back to 2001 when they was in San Diego, and right before Naomi quit the group. So they Naomi threw a chair at Eric, and then she like, something ain't right. How the hell we all broke, but y'all got money? And then she's like, I want to see the contract. Something ain't right. And then not Cam, and then Eric asked, I like, it's reasons for all of that. It's studio sessions, and then Butter Pecan ass jump in talking about and advances for your blow and stuff like that. And then she, Naomi like, no, fuck that. I want to see a contract. I've been talking to people. Something ain't right. And then Eric and Butter Pecan look at each other like, and then that's when Butter Pecan decide, well, I'm just gonna tell you because he not man enough to say it himself. But yes, you smart. Yes, you getting jerked. But the contracts was bad. But I read mine and I got mine fixed. But we know that's what the deal is. Y'all got a bad deal, right? I'm like, this bitch here. Then Valeria asked like, I didn't want to be an artist. I'm just out here hustling. I'm sorry, but she was just a hustle, babita. I said, bitch, I know she did. They should have jumped her ass, okay? And then she gonna tell Naomi she only mad because Eric picked her. I'm like, girl, bye. Naomi tell her that you can have them, bitch. Okay, you can have them. Then she gonna have the nerve to tell the girls that they don't need to quit. We can't go out when we on top. People don't go out when they on top. So it's gonna be nasty bitches forever. Like, she running shit. I said, oh, this bitch here. I told y'all this bitch was the evil villain of the damn show. I don't trust this hoe. I don't trust this hoe in that 2001, and I don't trust this hoe in that 2021. Y'all shouldn't even mess. How y'all still talking in this bitch? Anyway, so we back to present day, and they were getting ready for their performance, and explicit lyrics is not there. They all worried, and then Brianna just like, man, forget that. We're gonna do it with or without her because I look too good. I did all this work, and I just need one good night, okay? If we're not back together, that's fine. I'm getting on this stage, not performing. So then, big reveal that explicit lyrics did end up coming after all of that. Is she coming? She not coming? Shit. She ended up being on stage at the end. But then they also show us that Cameron went to her room and was like, you want to talk to me about JoJo's dad? Is that me? Am I the dad? And I'm like, duh. Okay, you put two and two together, baby, because I sure did, okay? But that was the end of the episode of Queens Season 1, Episode 2. Still not fucking with that bitch Valeria with her evil ass, okay? Evil ass, okay? Evil name, evil ass bitch, okay? I don't know how the hell they was still working with her and act like all that shit didn't go down. But okay, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Be Like Dee channel, okay?